Marshall Harris is here with sports. We're just a few days away from NASCAR taking over the streets of downtown Chicago.
And you know of one local man taking in Saturday's race up close and personal.
That's right, Marie, Jim. The streets, as you know, always talking. But this weekend, they'll be absolutely booming with NASCAR's first ever street course race in the Loop. Matt Zahn with the story of one would-be spectator who will now be driving for the Checkers on race day.
That's going to be pit road and all the grandstands. I mean, it's going to be amazing. You can feel the energy.
Brent Sherman, who lives just up the road in North Barrington, is getting his first look at the downtown street course as we walk down Jackson Drive towards Columbus.
And there are a couple spots on the course that are definitely not passing zones. This is a prime passing zone.
Okay.
You know, I've been here many times, and I just never imagined there would be a racetrack here.
Brent probably couldn't imagine he'd be racing in it either.
Look at all this work. I mean, it's amazing.
Sherman is a former NASCAR and Indy driver, but hasn't competed full-time since 2008, and his last race was at Chicagoland Speedway in 2016. So how did he end up back behind the wheel?
Actually, Facebook. A friend of mine that I knew back in the day when I was racing, he does PR for RSS Racing, and I threw it out there. I actually had tickets to this race to sit in the stands. I said, hey, is there a race seat available? And he said, you know, funny enough, you should say that. One of our drivers doesn't want to do the road courses, Kyle Sieg. So I said, sign me up.
From there, Sherman got to work getting ready to race. That included using the NASCAR simulator of the track, which he says helps but can't replicate the real thing. And he got in some practice in Joliet as well.
Is it like riding a bike?
I hope so. I think so. You know, I'm still pretty confident. I've tried to stay in shape just in case there was an opportunity that came available like this. It's really unbelievable that it all worked out.
Brent says there's a lot more to think about when you're racing on city streets like this, whether it's going from asphalt to freshly paved blacktop or even having to drive over manhole covers.
We got to make sure you're like not breaking over something like that, and then you know, you got to just find the nuances in the track, what you feel like has better grip than other places. Some of the corners are tight, some are fast. You know, there's a crown in all the roads, and when you come over the crown, you know, the car's going to want to slide a lot. It's a challenge, but I like a challenge.
So with all the unpredictability of the track and the fact that Sherman hasn't raced regularly in 15 years, does he have any expectations for how he'll actually do in the race?
I'd love to run in the top 10. I don't know if that's possible. I may be far from the top 10. You know, like I said, all these guys are great drivers. At the end of the day, if I finish last, I will still be satisfied that I got to race in a great race in Chicago in front of my family.
In Grant Park, Matt Zahn, CBS 2 News.
Thanks, Matt. Sherman says he's excited for his kids to watch him racing because they were too young when he was racing regularly in NASCAR. Sherman will be competing in the Xfinity race on Saturday. The Cup race comes your way on Sunday.
Very cool.